Are you thinking about moving to Urbana Champaign, Illinois, and want to know what the moving process is like? Well, today we're going to go step by step in the process to help you get started. Hi everyone, my name is Brock Collins and I'm your local real estate agent in Urbana Champaign, Illinois. So today we're going to take a deep dive into the process of moving to Urbana Champaign so you know what those steps actually look like. And along the way, if you have any questions about the community, in neighborhoods, or even properties, let me know. I offer free consultations. You can reach out. My contact information is on the screen. My goal is to make sure that all of your questions are answered along the way. Okay, so now let's talk about the process. Well, here's my recommendation to you. The first step in the process of moving to Urbana Champaign is to schedule a free consultation with me. Let's get on the phone, let's get on a live video on Zoom, and you can tell me kind of what you're looking for, if there's certain areas of town that make the most sense, features of the home, or even neighborhood amenities. The next step in the process is to have you speak with a lender if you are needing financing for your next purchase, okay? So if you have maybe even applied online to like one of the big national brands like maybe Quicken.com or those kind of things, and maybe the terms weren't very favorable, what I can help you with is local lenders in our area that might have more creative and favorable terms to get you the best loan that's available to you today. Okay, so the next step in the process is my recommendation to use a local lender here in the Urbana Champaign area. There's a couple reasons why. The first one is if you're using like an online brand like Quicken.com and you want to get a loan from a name brand online lending site, chances are their terms might be a little higher, but also the biggest problem that plays into that is that as you're going through a loan process with a national brand like that, you're typically going to get transferred to the next representative, the next representative, the next representative. And a lot of times along the way, if you have a question about where we're at in the process, it's really hard to get a hold of those big brands. And so I would recommend using a local lender. A local lender has lots of relationships in the area. And if for some reason you couldn't get a hold of them and that got out or they messed up a process along the way, they have a lot at stake, their reputation. And home sellers and other agents on the other side see that as well. And so if there was two offers, if our offer came in on a house and another offer came in on a house, our offer is an online site, the other offer is a local site, chances are they're going to give favor to the local lender here in the Urbana Champaign area. So if you need any help or recommendations on local lenders in the area, please let me know. It'd be my pleasure to give you several referrals to find the very best rate and process along the way. All right, the next step is, hey Brock, when do I start looking for houses? All right, so here's what I'd recommend. The very first moment that you're thinking, hey, there's a chance my job's going to transfer me, or we're thinking about moving to Urbana Champaign, what I would do is schedule a consultation with me right away. Now, a lot of people that are moving to Urbana Champaign might be far away. They might not be 30 minutes away that they can come to the office and meet with me. So what I would recommend is I give several different options. We can do a live Zoom video call, a live audio call. You can email me, you can contact me by phone at any time, but let's get this initial consultation. Let me help you with all your questions that you have so I can give you this step-by-step process to get you going so that your move to Urbana Champaign is as smooth as possible. Now, if you're thinking of moving to the Urbana Champaign area, maybe in the next several months, 2 to 3 months or somewhere in that, what I would recommend is we start viewing homes online right now. So it's going to do a couple things for you. First thing, let me tell you, those homes we're looking at today, if you're not planning on moving here for maybe 3 months or so, it's not likely those homes are still going to be on the market for sale. However, what this will help us do along the way is to kind of narrow down different areas that aren't a good fit and narrow down the home criteria so that we really have something solid that you're like, hey, Brock, I now know exactly what I want and the house I want to buy. So this will help us do that in the process. You might be saying, hey, Brock, I love the idea. That sounds great. Let's get started. How do I do that? Okay, so I provide a free tool and access to unlimited home searches in the entire Urbana Champaign Illinois area. So to get started and start your home searches now, just go to 217hometours.com, and I've also provided that link in the description below. By doing that, you can start your searches, you can weed through, you can kind of save the homes that make the most sense to you, and so it'll help us narrow down this search. So 217hometours.com. All right, so now we're ready to start shopping for that new home. We're getting closer in the process here. So what does that look like if you're 5 hours away or 10 hours away? How do we do that? Well, listen, I can help you in a combination of different ways. The first one, if you are going to make a trip to the Urbana Champaign area, we can carve out 1, 2, 3 days and we can run around town, look at lots of different options that seem interesting to you. If we find the perfect home, then we can make an offer on that home while you're in town before you leave. Another solution I can provide you is live video tours of homes that seem of high interest to you. So you might be saying, hey, Brock, I'm 10 hours away, but I really want to do a virtual walkthrough of this house. So here's how that works. You would just let me know what that property or maybe you have a couple properties that you would like a video tour through. So I can get on a live video call with you. We can walk through the home. I can show you the whole process as if you're standing right next to me and then answer any questions live with you that you would have. Now, if you say, hey, Brock, I have a whole bunch of properties here that really seem interesting to me, what I would do in that case is I would actually go through and do a video walkthrough, record the video, and then take all those properties together into one format and then upload that video for you to YouTube. Now, it would be an unlisted thing that I would just send you so only you would have access to, but that would be another option as well. So with all these different combinations, if you're in town, we can make an offer in you're in town if you find that perfect house, okay? Now, if you're not in town, we're doing a live video tour or you're watching these videos that I've gone through and put together for you, and you find that perfect home that you want to make an offer on, I can do that via email with you through DocuSign, so you could digitally sign the purchase agreement and that I would prepare on your behalf. And as soon as I get that back, you'll get an instant digital copy, I'll get a copy, and then I can present that offer on your behalf for you. I get this question asked a lot. Hey, Brock, what if I change my mind later, after I find that perfect house? Well, here's a couple things. Let me tell you that a real estate purchase agreement is a legal binding contract. However, for realty contracts and in the Urbana Champaign area, there are a couple contingency clauses that do favor you as a buyer. The first one would be an appraisal contingency. Now, this would come into play if you're getting financing for a house and our purchase agreement is contingent upon you getting financing. So if the house did not meet the appraisal price needed as the purchase price, now our lender is not allowed to or would not provide funding for that house. So in that case, you would be able to back away from that because you don't have the ability to finance the property. Now, if it did come just a little bit under, there's a couple things. If you still wanted the house, we can try to renegotiate with the seller to get down to the price of the appraisal price, okay? Now, the second thing in our real estate purchase agreements here in the Urbana-Champaign area are home inspection contingencies. Now, if certain conditions are met that are in the contract, this would also give you an ability to either ask the seller to fix certain things, ask for a credit so that you can have your own person do them, or in a lot of cases, if those conditions are met in the contract, then it would give you the option to terminate the agreement. So I can go in more details with you on how that process works, what those conditions are, so you can understand how they work in your favor if you need to exercise those options. All right, so if you're not from the area and you want to know, Brock, how do we determine the property value that you want to make an offer on? How does that work? Well, I'm asked that a lot. So here's how it works. I actually will run comparable sales of properties in that area. However, I'm going to compare them apples to apples. If it's a 2-story with a basement and a 2-car garage, we're going to compare them apples to apples. Okay. Now, the one thing that I'm going to show you is not houses that are for sale right now. I'm going to show you houses that have already sold. And the reason that's important is because the market value has been established if a property is sold for a certain price. So I'm going to compare those for you. I'm going to show you those comparable sales, apples to apples, so that you know what the price point, if it's really on target for what the seller's asking, so you can know how to better offer on your offer price when you make an offer to buy that property. Now, I will tell you one error that a lot of home buyers, also home sellers, make is they'll go to this realty site called Zillow.com. You've probably heard it, you've probably seen commercials on it, and you can pull up an address and it gives one of the things that it provides. It's called a Zestimate. It's their version of an estimate of value. And I will tell you, very rarely in the last 24 years that I've been in the real estate business here in the Urbana Champaign area, has that ever been on the mark. The reason is Zillow's Zestimate, their estimated values that they put on every property, is actually a computer algorithm. So there's no one local saying and comparing apples to apples. They're doing it through their algorithm. So to pull up a property and just look at that Zestimate value, it's the wrong way to go. The right way is to have me pull comparable sales of apples to apples so we can tune in to make sure locally that that number is right for you. All right, Brock, I'm ready to make an offer. I found the perfect home. What are the next steps? All right, first thing we're going to do is look at our comparable sales, apples to apples, that we've already put together to make sure the house is actually priced right for the market, okay? Now, I'm also going to run you through different scenarios of your offer price, but ultimately, it's up to you what you decide to offer on the property, okay? So once you've determined your offer amount, I'll prepare the purchase agreement for you and I will present it on your behalf. Now, I will say it's not uncommon that you as a buyer might be 5 hours away, 10 hours away, 24 hours away, somewhere far away, but you want to buy a house. We've looked through it. We've done video tours. I've shown you the disclosure reports on the property, and you might say, hey, Brock, that's the house I want, but I can't get to town. Can you make an offer for me? It's perfectly normal today that happens. So if you find that perfect house, and you're for sure that's the one you want me to present an offer, I will prepare the purchase agreement for you, and then I can email it to you via DocuSign where you can approve the purchase agreement digitally. A copy will instantly come back to you. It'll come to me, and I'll present the offer on your behalf, okay? So the next steps, if the offer is accepted, the next steps in the process are pretty simple, and I'll walk you through each step along the way. Okay, so this is the short rundown to give you an idea of the process of buying a home and moving to Urbana Champaign. I'm Brock Collins, your local real estate agent right here in Urbana Champaign. And if you have any questions along the way, be sure to first schedule your consultation with me. We can do it via video call. You can call me, you can email me, but let's get this process locked in together and so I can answer any questions that you have along the way. Also, be sure to set up your unlimited home searches for the Urbana Champaign area. You can do that at 217hometours.com. Well, listen, thank you for watching this video. I hope it provided a lot of value to you, and I look forward and I want to welcome you to moving to our community here in the Urbana Champaign area.